Yo, what's going on, guys? We are here. I am doing my what to expect for the Toronto Raptors this coming season previews and predictions. And I want to hear three things from you guys. First off, it's going to be what is the expectations, in your opinion, from the Raptors this year? Second, what do you guys think the record will be? And third, besides Scottie Barnes, who do you think, and Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet? I think besides those three guys, who do you think is going to be the X factor? Also, OG Anunoby or Anobi. I've been told I say that wrong. I don't know. My parents taught me English, so I apologize if I say OG's name wrong or anybody's name wrong. You know, when you get raised by parents whose language, third and fourth language is English. But either way, let's hop into it. Someone tell me if I'm saying OG's name wrong. OG Anunoby? OG Anunoby? It's Anunoby, all right? I don't know. Either way, let's talk about this team. And the current roster for the Toronto Raptors, they have two guys on two ways, Jeff Dalton and Ron Harper. Currently, the guys that are fighting for training camp spots are Gabe Brown and Justin Champagnie, as well as Josh Jackson, DJ Wilson. And I believe that's it. I believe Justin Champagnie and Gabe Brown will both be cut and go to the G League team. And I mean, even though they gave Justin Champagnie a long deal, so maybe Justin Champagnie stays and they cut DJ Wilson and Gabe Brown. I feel like Josh Jackson, maybe that's just me because I go to Kansas. Shout out, working the game. Like, I'll be on the field, media access, but it's gonna be fun. The big question with this team is Scottie Barnes. I think Scottie Barnes is his growth in year 1 to 2 depends if this team is a top 5 seed or if this team's a top 3 seed, because obviously Scottie Barnes was an absolute revelation his rookie year, and that was only a hint of what his production will be in the future. Now, he was solid in so many areas that it's really hard to figure out what type of players Barnes is going to become, because is he going to be a ball dominant swingman? Is he going to be a hypercharged Draymond Green? Is he going to do something else entirely and be his own player? The answer to this question will not only impact how the Raptors do this season, but how they will grow in the years to come. And I do very much like what the Raptors have going here. And it truly is very fun to watch them. I think they're one of the most fun basketball teams. And for me, if we look at the lineup for this coming season, I think Pascal is going to play center again. Pascal, Scottie Barnes, OG, and would you do Pascal, OG, Scotty, Gary Trent, and Fred VanVleet, and then you have off the bench Precious Achiuwa, Otto Porter Jr., Thad Young, and Chris Boucher as your 9-man rotation. Then as either, I think Malachi Flynn and Delano Banton are fighting for that last rotation. And for me, that's the most interesting spot, because I think the Toronto Raptors, don't get me wrong, are a very fun team to watch. And there are questions for this team, but let's talk about it. So first off, the Raptors are a team that we have Khem Birch, who is kind of like the third center, and he had knee pain early, and he ended up sitting out 3 games and then played 5 games, and he basically had a bad year, and he had arthroscopic surgery this offseason, and it cleaned up loose debris in his right knee, and that debris included addressing a torn meniscus. And it's kind of crazy that Khem Birch said that it took 5 or 6 MRIs to reveal the nature of the injury. And it's kind of crazy to think that. So Birch's status will probably allow Precious Achiuwa to play even more than he was already set to, whether he's starting or not. And there's also a possibility that Christian Colocu could get some, more spot duty as a rim protector when they play against bigger teams. So the Raptors have 13 players signed to guaranteed contracts with both of their two-way spots filled up. So they're technically at 15 guys, and they can sign 2 guys more. They have a total of, 20 players in camp, and they have 5 players fighting for 2 roster spots. Delano Banton has been praised by Nick Nurse from the first day of camp in Victoria. Justin Champagnie are the incumbents from last year's roster. DJ Wilson spent 2 separate stints with the Toronto Raptors, but was ultimately cut so they could sign Armani Brooks. And Josh Jackson are the 2 veteran interlopers trying to leapfrog one of them. Also, DJ Wilson was on. When I say he was cut for Armani Brooks, he was cut for Armani Brooks last season at the end of the year. And then you have over here Josh Jackson. I think Josh Jackson could get in front of DJ Wilson easily. Then Gabe Brown, I think he's there just to sign the Exhibit 10, and he's heading to the Raptors 905. Ban's the safest bet to fill one of those spots, as he spent, some time in the rotation last year. Now and they're trying to turn him into a lead guard. Now, Wilson gives them a plausible defender against league big mans, and his jumper is more polished than his competition. Shapenny's the youngest of three at 21, had a sensational year with Raptors 905, and is more of a traditional wing. Jackson is, a 6'8" forward with the most defensive versatility. And I think given Birch's, injury and availability, and he's obviously their most, dependable post defender, I think the guy who can give them the most defense, maybe DJ Wilson, has the edge. But for me, you look at this, Malachi Flynn singled out someone who was playing well. Flynn found himself behind Banton last year at times, and Nurse tried to figure out who could back up Fred VanVleet. And I think these are the big things we're going to see in training camp. And Nurse was, trying to get him to play. And Nurse was constantly trying to get Flynn to become more assertive and, more quick with his decisions. And we saw in that pro-am game 73 points, then a 54 and a 52 outing in separate pro-am. So there's confidence with him in the camp, and I'm excited. I'm really excited because I think this team is definitely, again, like I said, they could be a top 5 seed or top 3 seed depending on how Scottie Barnes goes. They have their 9-man rotation of Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent, Scotty Barnes, Pascal, and OG. Then you got off the bench Precious, okay? You got yourself Chris Boucher, Otto Porter, Kem Birch, Malachi Flynn, Juancho, okay? Thad Young. You got like 13 guys on this roster. I think this is something, the weakest part is the guard position, because Gary Trent, Fred VanVleet, Malachi Flynn, and Delano Banton are their only true guards on this roster, and Gary Trent already is a shooting guard, more of a swingman. So for me, when I look at this roster, there are a lot, I think if they can just play defense really good, keep the ball moving, keep that super long attack that we know that they love, I think it'll be fine. I just think, guys, this Toronto Raptors team, if Scotty Barnes takes that jump and continues in his trajectory, this team could be something really good. It's just unreal when you have a guy like Scotty Barnes. We just need to know even if he's the same player he was last year, this team's at least a 5th seed. And I think the depth they addressed that they needed to address, it was a huge thing. So for me, I think we're going to see a team that is capable of doing things that a lot of people weren't expecting them to be able to do. So I think it's going to be a very fun team to watch this coming year. And that's definitely where I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think of this team? Anything else I missed? Go check out our NBA show. Link is in the description. Also, Rock Chalk, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a good day, guys. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to go. I got some work to do. So that's basically it for me. I hope you guys do have a great day. Till next time, guys. Peace.